Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Butterflies Poison in our brother route, who's not really our brother, but it's still kind of our brother, and it's still a little weird. I am having a wonderful time, and we're about to go on our first outside date, but not really a date, because we can't like hold hands and shit, but it's kind of a date with our brother, who's getting a meal for free from another woman. You know. And we feel guilty because we're an aristocrat and taking meals from other people makes us a POV. You know, some stupid bullshit. But it should make you feel awkward because I'm pretty sure that girl was offering to treat your brother to a meal, even though he taught her flower arranging, not as like, oh, well, you taught me flower arranging and then like, I'll treat you to a meal because it's like payment, like, you know, barter, you know. It's more like the, because she probably thinks your brother's hot because he is. Well, we're boning him, bitch. But she's not going to find us threatening because we're his sister, so it's going to be interesting. Interesting. I think the jealousy is going to come out. I don't know. The streets of Ginza are as bustling as she remembers. The people there are dressed in a variety of fashionable Western attire. Sometimes they pass by foreign married couples who stand out in the crowd, streetcars, and refined buildings that line up next to each other. I like this background. It's new. I don't think we've seen this one. Or if we did, it was like dark when we saw it. I don't think we saw the streetcars. Still, most of the people there are dressed in kimono, and the sounds that she finds the most familiar include those of bicycles that little boys ride to deliver soba noodles and the energetic yells of the rickshaw men. Now you make me want soba noodle. The district makes for an unprecedentedly wondrous spectacle, one that results from a blend of the traditional Japanese culture and modern Western culture. It's an existing place to... Oh, it's an existing place to be, but that says existing, right? It's an existing place. Am I stupid? Can I read? Y'all can read. That says existing, right? I think it's supposed to be, it's an exciting place to be. Spacey thinks. Maybe. Okay. Shiba, you think? Or Kyoko. That's not Hideo. Because they would have dressed me. Anyway, I don't know. Someone's saying, oh, young master, fancy meeting you here. Hmm? Someone from behind them calls out to her brother. Her brother stops and turns around to find a woman who's probably in her mid-40s. Oh, okay, it's a lady. She looks chic, clad in a kimono with purple and green stripes, tied in place with a black sash. She wears a crimson lipstick and her hair is loosely curled. A coral pink decorative comb adorns her hair. She stands out. You think she's a geisha? However, these vivid colors don't come across as too much on her. Instead, she looks dazzling. Her appearance is an obvious hint that she's a businesswoman. Businesswoman or like businesswoman? Like, the woman studies her brother's face and smiles when she seems to have gotten the right person. Thank goodness. I didn't get the wrong person, young master. Oh, that was rude of me. You're the master of the household now. I'm sorry, I don't know why I kept forgetting your new title. Her wording bothers Spacey, and she feels a little disgruntled. Like she's implying that she's too accustomed to calling her brother young master, which alludes to the probability that they've known each other for a long time. You think she's the proprietress of the, brothel, maybe? Moreover, they're in the middle of a crowded town. For this lady to be able to find her brother among the crowd and have enough courage to call out to him means they used to be pretty close, unless it's Komomo. Were you banging a geisha that's like old enough to be your mom? Interesting. A dark cloud of jealousy swirls up inside Spacey. I didn't think it was going to come out when I said jealousy was going to rear its ugly head. I didn't mean like now, in the street. I meant like when the girls give, like, treating us to a meal. She flicks her gaze toward her brother, accusing, but her brother's already smiling at her, looking as if everything is all right with the world. Yeah, the proprietress. Okay. Now let me introduce you. And this is the proprietress of the brothel that I used to regularly visit. Huh? The lady is a brothel proprietress. Well, you did say businesswoman. Is she the friend that Lady Kyoko referred to? If so, that changes things. Spacey is more or less, by proxy, indebted to the proprietress. Spacey frowns, and the proprietress watches her with a slightly assessing gaze. Master, you have such a lovely lady in your company. Is she to blame for your disappearance from the district? Please don't put it that way. So how are Komomo and Quato doing? Happy, I hope. Oh, wow, you had 2 girls! Damn! Spreading it around. You could have at least several bastard kids between. At least they're 2 baby mamas, but, you know. Far from happy. Everyone's waiting for you to come back. You didn't even personally visit the district the other day. Why would you think we wanted to see your messenger? The proprietress huffs in annoyance and Spacey freezes. Well, you already told your brother, though. She feels awkward because she was the one who decided to send another person in her brother's place without telling her brother about it. It's a good thing he knows, because otherwise this would be more awkward. But then the proprietress pauses. She looks as if she's just remembered something important. And then she lowers her voice and asks, By the way, I need to ask you something, Master. All right, what is it? The messenger you sent to the district. Does he really work at your manor as a servant? That's why we sent Majima! I was like, why do we send Majima? Oh my god! Okay. It just clicked now because I wasn't thinking about it, but like, you know, because I was like, we have these options and sending Majima's the right idea, really? Yes, because remember in Shiba's route, if we don't go out, if we don't take the ride home from the guy we're having the marriage interview with, they don't see Majima and then go like, Majima's like some huge drug kingpin, yo. Like, you know what I mean? That doesn't become an issue. And it doesn't, and then we get kidnapped by Majima, right? So we send Majima and she's like, he's a huge drug kingpin because they're the red light district. There's a shady, that's the shady part of town. Shady would know shady. You know what I'm saying? Ooh! Maybe that's why Majima was like, you want me to go where? He's like, someone's going to recognize me, but that'll be fine. It is not fine! But it was not fine. And if we send Fujita or Hideo, then we probably get kidnapped or some shit, or almost stabbed. We're going to get killed by Majima because... Yeah, because no one's going to warn us. All right, good job, game, putting that in there. I mean, I wasn't really thinking about it, because, like, it's not like we had a very similar thing happen in other routes. It happened in Shiba's route, and it didn't really happen anywhere else. So... Oh, okay, I see where that bad ending's going. Huh? Well, you sure ask odd questions. Mizuhito asks Spacey to confirm that, yes, the messenger that day was indeed Majima, and turns to the proprietress with a nod. The proprietress frowns, watching the siblings with a puzzled expression. Sensing the change in the proprietress's attitude. Proprietress is a really hard word to say 1,000 times. Give this woman a name. Mizuhito looks at her inquiringly. What is it? What's wrong with our servant? Well, you see, the nature of my business requires me to be able to roughly memorize someone by their face with just a single glance. And that servant of yours, Master, I'm fairly positive I've seen him once before. What? You've met Majima before? Spacey speaks up to enter the conversation for the first time. The proprietress looks at Spacey's concerned countenance and grimly nods. Yes, and I am confident in my memory. Plus, your servant is quite a looker, and I don't forget handsome men. I saw him about a year ago, sometime in winter. Like, damn, I can barely remember my own fucking name sometimes, and this bitch remembers seeing Majima a year ago? Like, shit, she's on the ball. She takes her like ginkgo biloba. What is it that's supposed to be good for her memory? Obviously, I don't take it, but you know what I mean? Whatever it's like, oh, you gotta take it. Whatever herb is good for your memory, because I'm like 100, so it's like... This bitch is obviously full of it. Whatever it is. Ma'am, where did you see him? I really don't make a habit of letting young ladies hear things that they'll be better off without, so I'm not sure if I should tell you. The proprietress seems hesitant to answer Spacey's question, but her silence only makes Spacey even more curious. She can't back down now. What could the earnest Majima and the owner of a brothel have in common? She's like, Majima would never! Your brother did. Spacey fixes her unwavering gaze on the proprietress, and she finally relents. She sighs and answers, I saw him at a black brothel. Curious? What? Having not expected that answer at all, Spacey wonders if she's heard it correctly. She looks up at her brother to make sure she isn't just hearing things, but her brother's no longer smiling, and it tells her that this is real. Okay, I'm gonna need you to expand on this brothel. You can't be serious. Are you referring to the... Indeed, I am. The proprietress nods deeply. Spacey's gaze flicks between the two adults, lost in conversation, but then the proprietress begins to speak in a low voice. There are many types of brothels, and some of them are unique because they don't accept the general public. And most of them are untouched, even by the law. I'm assuming they mean like it's black market type of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's the black market. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, there's brothels in the red light, and that's normal, but a black brothel. But it makes it sound so racist when you say it like that. It's like, I'm sorry, but the wording in the front, you're like, excuse me? I feel like we could have called it something else. It comes across as like, that came out, and it just sounds really inappropriate. Okay? Like, it sounds so much worse. Like, I'm sure it's not the intent, but it just come out, you're like, that's making me sound like a... It's a white people brothel. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It comes across sounding racist for some reason. But I'm sure they mean, like, black market. Like, it's... You know what I mean? But, like, when you say that, I don't know what it is. It just comes out so wrong. Like, oh, God. Anyway. Oh. Some of these places serve opium. Because opium's made from, like, poppy seeds, isn't it? Like... There's some kind of relation to the poppy seed. Because I swear, isn't that like why when they like used to go for drug testing back in ye olde days? I don't know if they still do it now. It's been a long time since I've had to take a drug test. But like it would be like, did you have anything with poppy seeds on it? Because it would show up in your urine and it'd be like, whoa, you're on something. But it's just because of poppy seeds. Like, obviously not in like high cut, but like they would see it. You know what I mean? And it would be like, if you were like, nope, never had poppy seeds, they'd be like, you're on shit! But like, if you're like, oh, I had a poppy seed bagel, then they're like, fuck the whole test up. You know what I mean? So like, I swear to God, they used to ask you that shit. But I feel like the last time I went for a drug test for a job, they didn't ask that. I was like, do they not? Do they know better? Well, I mean, obviously, I'm sure testing has gotten better, and they're like, that's poppy seeds, not opium. But isn't that like the whole point too in like the Wizard of Oz when they enter the poppy fields and they get a little like fucking high? It's because poppy seeds can like... I swear to God, that's what it is, isn't it? And poppy seeds are black, so like maybe that's what they mean when they say a black brothel is because of like opium and poppy seeds and stuff like, or whatever. You know what I mean? But like, it just, again, when you say it, doesn't it? You're like, excuse me? Oh, okay, poppy seeds because they're like like it just comes out wrong. Like. The man you sent the other day, he looks just like the head dealer who frequents one such brothel. Oh my God, no. Damn. I mean, we knew he went to Shanghai a lot, but this is like, now this is explaining the other portion of like, so he's in Shanghai a lot, and he's a huge drug dealer, but like, he's our gardener? Yeah, but he's dealing drugs at brothels. Opium dealer? Mahajima? Shh, not so loud. Spacey exclaims, and the proprietress hurriedly puts her index finger in front of her own lips. I don't want the brothel I'm operating to be involved with those shady places, but that isn't up to me. The one who controls everything is a man who runs a huge business here on the surface, but I can't mention his name out loud. I owe him various favors, so we work together, and that's why I'm familiar with the faces of the dealers. And the man who works for you, master, he sure wasn't treated like a small fry. He's probably someone at the management level. No way. I can't believe it. Chima? Spacey's speechless. Mizuhito himself is quiet, looking somber. The proprietress stares at the two of them apologetically. I did consider keeping the story to myself, but if the master gets caught up in something dangerous, so will the girls at my place. And please don't apologize, ma'am. I'm glad you told us. Are you? Thank you. I do feel a little less guilty. Just, please be careful, master. After forcing her brother to promise to visit the brothel again soon, the proprietress leaves them. He should be like, I really can't, because I don't think the woman I'm fucking would appreciate that. The news has left them feeling utterly baffled. The two of them walk in a daze, trying to process the newly obtained information, And it's a wonder that their legs can still function to carry them toward their destination. So like, hold on. Brother, what do you think of what we just heard? It's most likely true, given that our source is the proprietress. Mizuhito huffs out a small sigh and mutters something about their next plan. She thinks he's being too carefree about this. Spacey herself still can't believe the proprietress's story. It's far too nonsensical in her opinion. Majima's a high-ranking opium dealer who regularly goes in and out of a black brothel? When you say it, doesn't it sound so wrong? The more she imagines it, the less she believes in the story. It's just too crazy. I still can't believe it. Majima's our gardener. He can't be anyone else. Also, your brain is like, he's our gardener. If he's selling opium, why is he our gardener? When he what? But listen, even drug dealers need a hobby, man. You're right. And maybe the proprietress saw the wrong man, but I don't think it hurts to be suspicious of him. What are you implying, brother? What are we gonna do about it then? What do you want to do, Spacey? I don't think we should ask Majima directly. Okay. I thought we were gonna go on to the next, a little next scene, and I was gonna hold it till then, but I can't. So I remember in the very beginning where it's Majima's the one trying to kill your family, and I was like, you can't just ruin the whole game and tell us it's Majima. What the shit? Because that felt like a bit of a downer. You told us the end, we were supposed to be suspicious. But they've done a really good job, again, with hey, we told you who the person is, the main antagonist, it's Majima. But you never know why. And so they held off a lot. It's and every time you're wait, Majima, you get a little bit more not much, but you already know, the basics. Majima is a huge drug kingpin in the opium world. Now we know where he's selling his opium. We know he goes to so you're getting little bits and pieces of this whole Majima big drug dealer opium world thing. Just little pieces to kind of, and you're but you don't know the whole story and why, and so it is kind of good. Even though they tell you right off the bat, oh, by the way, it's Majima. He's fucking with your family. You're but why? What are the Chinese bellflowers? Why was our mother so freaked out about them? What is all you get is just a little more on the Majima's a big opium drug dealer. You're he goes to Shanghai and what's he doing with it? And now you're okay, he's selling it at this brothel. Okay, now you get that other piece, but it's it's still just that same little bubble of Majima. You still don't know anymore, and you're well, shit. It's so good though, because you think when you first get that reveal, Majima's, but you ruined it, but you really don't, because there is so much. Why does he hate us? You think it's about the money and he bought out all of our loans. But why? But it's got to be good game, because you've made us woo! You get antsy the whole time. Every time Majima comes up in this thing, and then he's got, and you don't know his motivations, and it can't be oh, well, we owe him money. Well, that's stupid. He could have just broken our kneecaps. He doesn't have to go to these lengths. Unless he's just a sadist, which possible. But you know what I mean? It better be good, because otherwise it'll be disappointed because you built it up so long. But I do appreciate that the game is doing that too. Hey, we told you right off the bat, but still, aren't you what the hell, Majima? The tension's still good. Or hey, we told you he's not your brother, but we're still making it feel creepy and weird. Good job, game. I just gotta give it props every single time. Anyway, I feel we should investigate in secret. I don't think we should ask Majima directly. I feel that's gonna get us stabbed. But then again, investigating him in secret could also get us stabbed. Unless we're investigating in secret together. Let's not split up, Scooby Gang, because one of us is going to get chased by a ghost. Ooh! Do you love when I gasp and I'm and you're what's the answer? No, it's save file here. Okay. All right, what's the right answer? Investigate in secret. Asking Majima directly gets us stabbed. Absolutely. I think we shouldn't ask Majima directly about it. We need to find out more, but in secret. Yeah, I agree with you. Mizuhito smiles and nods in response to Spacey's answer. For now, let's ask Fujita about it. He's in charge of all the servants, so he probably knows something. Right, let's do that. But Spacey catches on something amiss. Why is her brother so calm? Oddly so, in fact. Unlike Spacey, her brother doesn't seem distraught or petrified by the shocking news. He looks fine. Is it just because, like, he's really good at maintaining calm while he's worried inside, or he's like, hey, maybe it's not enough to worry about yet, so I'm not going to freak out. And meanwhile, we are like, oh my god, everything is falling apart! You know? It makes more sense for a person to feel shaken, even just a little bit, when they find out that a servant who's been working for them for so long turns out to have an entirely different and dangerous identity, right? No, not if you're going with, I'm sure she's wrong. You know, I actually still feel like even if you were there, you were like, but what if she's not? You know what I mean? Well, Mizuhito could just be a little more chillax than we are. Brother? Yes. What do you think about Majima? Not just now, but all this time. Why the sudden question? You don't look panicked at all, brother, and that's strange. Do you hate Majima? No, it's nothing of that sort. In the face of his sister's accusation, Mizuhito gives a restrained smile and shrugs his shoulders. I know the way you used to look at him. It's just, I think the world is full of bizarre things. Anything could happen. Now let's see. And do you see the lady over there, Spacey? Mizuhito points at a middle-aged lady who's walking across the street, clad in extravagant Western attire. It doesn't take a genius to tell she's the wife of a rich man. But she isn't exactly classy, so her husband may be nouveau riche. But think about it. Maybe she's nothing of that sort. Maybe our assumption can't be further from the truth. She probably just got rich yesterday, or she's actually an actress, here to shoot something, and she usually wears simple attire. Or maybe she isn't even a woman. Maybe she's a middle-aged man who likes cross-dressing. I love that being an example in here. What? Stop it, brother! She's starting to look like anything but a rich lady to me. Well, the last one might have been a little wild for a guess. But my point is, everything around us is, most of the time, nothing more than the tip of an iceberg. My god, these are like life lessons with Mizuhito right now, because this is valid. This is 100% true. And the truth is hidden underneath, and we may live the rest of our lives being none the wiser. In fact, I think I'm the perfect example. Brother, Spacey feels her breath hitch. Her brother's right. He once had to overcome the shock that came with the revelation of his own bloodline. To her brother, the idea that Majima's probably hiding another identity may be far less shocking in comparison. Wait, come to think of it. Spacey recalls a particular detail and giggles. Brother, you never introduced me to the proprietress as your sister. That's right, because you're my lover. And my sister. Brother, I really want to go somewhere far away with you. As soon as possible. Mizuhito mutters, looking far off into the distance. I want to go to a place where no one knows us. We'll be able to hold each other's hand like a pair of cheerful lovers in the open, without having to sneak around. This is exactly why I think that's going to be the best ending. You know? Brothers and sisters can hold hands in the open. There's nothing weird about it. Says the girl who feels weird about the fact she's boning her brother. Who's not really her brother. You know what I mean, though? Like, really? Really? Come here, give me your hand. Spacey reaches out to snatch her brother's hand and grips it. Mizuhito watches her with wide eyes, but soon the look of surprise on his face is replaced by a wide smile that reveals his beautiful teeth. Aww, my god, he's tall. Such a cute CG. Look at her goofy little face, it's adorable. She looks like an adorable old lady puppet. You know what I mean? There's just something, I think it's that, it's the goofy little smirk on her face that just, like a little old lady puppet. Not in a bad way, like, God, she looks old. It's just like there's something that if you had like a little old lady puppet, that's the little goofy smile it would have. There's something about it, you know, but I love it. You know, you can be very innocent sometimes. Are you ashamed of me, brother? No way, far from it. Mizuhito gently tightens his grip around Spacey's fingers. In fact, he wants to tell everyone that you're lovers. Be damned if you're siblings, he doesn't care. It's because you're you that I can't help being drawn to you. Brother's bashful smile warms Spacey's heart. But Mizuhito's explanation about a person's public and hidden side still refuses to leave her head. Does that mean that she's yet to learn everything about her brother? Is her brother still hiding something? I hope it's that he's actually our brother. That would be amazing. She can't get rid of the doubts once they've taken root inside her mind. And then a wild idea crosses Spacey's mind. Hey, brother? Yes. What is it? I want to go to the red light district that you used to visit often. He went from happy to, huh? Huh? You what? Mizuhito stares at Spacey, mouth hanging open and decidedly appalled. Do you know what you're saying, Spacey? That isn't a place for girls to visit. I know. I just want to take a look. Be honest with me. What's wrong? Well, what's gotten into you? When she doesn't answer, Mizuhito stares harder at her until an idea seems to have come to him and his mouth forms a little O. Oh, I know. Are you still bothered by the geisha that I used to be close with? No, well, maybe, yes, a little. But that's not what makes me want to go there. I just want to know everything about you, brother. I want to see the things you've seen and clung on to with my own eyes. Oh, now he looks sad. Spacey. Mizuhito frowns at Spacey, looking like he's considering how to best respond to her request. I'm happy you want to know more about me, but still, going there. It won't take long, brother. Come on, let's go. You're so obstinate. Do you know that? Perhaps realizing that Spacey isn't willing to back down, Mizuhito sighs and breaks into a resigned smile. We won't stay long, you hear me? And I want you to promise me one thing. Of course. What is it? Please don't hate me. Spacey blinks, unsure if she fully understands what her brother is implying. But her brother's question sounds stranger than it is questionable, and she bursts into laughter. Brother, please, I won't hate you. I would never. But I'm sure there are all sorts of information you'll hear for the first time at the red light district. The thought of you hating me, it scares me. I'm anxious. I don't want you to hate me. Oh, brother. I won't hate you. The notion alone is out of the question. I've seen you at your messiest and most uncool, and not just once. Yeah, you're right. After admitting defeat, Mizuhito finally promises to go to the red light district with Spacey. Knows full well how crazy her request sounds, but her desire to know is bigger. I used to think I'd rather die than visit that filthy place, but she doesn't like the idea of being entirely clueless about the place that used to hold her brother's mind captive, of never seeing it with her own eyes. These thoughts scare her. And their encounter with the proprietress has only served to amplify those thoughts. After eating at the restaurant where the sister of Mizuhito's friend works, two of them stroll around town and get a rickshaw to take them to the red light district. Is Yoshiwara the red light district that you would go to, brother? Yes, there was a time when I would go to Yoshiwara. Do you want to go there? Sure, as long as it's a place you used to go to, brother. Okay. I really don't want to take you there, though. Huh? Why not? Although Yoshiwara is a geisha quarter, it focuses on prostitution. Once, a girl tried to visit a brothel and it led to a huge problem. I'm also pretty sure you'll stand out there. Oh, okay, then I guess going there may not be the best idea. But it should be fine to just check out the gates. On their way, Mizuhito gives Spacey a simple run-through about geisha quarters. There are various types of geisha quarters. These quarters have changed over time, but in the Taisho era, there's a clear distinction between quarters that house geisha and prostitutes. Yoshiwara, for instance, is a district that focuses on prostitution. Geishas sell their art, and they're not prostitutes. There are ranks of geisha, too. The popular ones are featured on postcards and have stolen the hearts of many men in society. Spacey herself has heard of geisha who got involved in love affairs with famous figures or became their wives through newspapers and other media. A geisha may be an existence that's caused a stir in society, but to Spacey they're nothing but girls who have tried to snatch her brother away from her. They're people she loathes. We're almost there. And that big gate over there is the entrance. I mean, that's true. To be fair, like, geisha aren't really like the same thing as like an actual hooker. You know what I mean? Like, was sex happening? Absolutely. Pretty sure. But like the whole point was it'd be more like It'd be more like you're going to a strip club. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm seeing the girls dance for me. Even though I don't think Geisha got naked. But you know what I mean? It's like a little more of a, I think, better like comparison than like you're actually going to a whorehouse. You know what I mean? Like you're paying a woman for sex. Again, I think sex happened. But the men of Yoshawar, remember we played those games and it was like we went and we paid. Oh, that was different. That was like, well, we are paying them to woo them and then sleep with them so we can get knocked up because that was the whole point. So it was a little different. But you know what I mean? And it's like, could you imagine? I don't know. I'm just saying, you know, you're just like, I'm so pretty that I can just sit here and look pretty and men pay me for that. And like maybe once in a while I sleep with them if I feel like I want to, but it's more like, oh, you just want to stare at me and look at me in my beautiful gown, just sitting here looking lovey. Like, oh, and maybe I'll dance, sing a little, do something. Like, I mean, I'm just saying. And it doesn't sound too bad. I bet they make more money than I do. You know, so. And men just like throw money at you. Like, yeah, okay, maybe I wish I was hot enough to be like a sugar baby. I'm also too old. Does anyone need a sugar grandma? Like, literally, I'm literally like a pile of sugar, like crumbling to dust. Like, oh, we get desperate in our old age just so we don't have to work anymore. Anyway, we're almost there. And the big gate over there is the entrance. It is kind of funny, though, because if you think about it, like, far more in, like, popular culture, but, like, just in historical culture that you are aware of, there is just so many more like this. There is a whole district for men to go get their rocks off on. Where the hell is where are my men dancing for me? Probably nowhere. Nowhere. Man! This is why all the serial killers that have never been caught are probably women, because we didn't have quarters where we just go and make hot men dance for us. Like, oh sure, you might have like one or two now, but we don't have districts and quarters and whole streets. And like, sorry, honey, I'm going to Chippendales. You know what I mean? Like, what the shit? That's not fair. I'm sorry. You know why? Do you know why that is? It's not because women are like, oh, we're not allowed to have sexy men dance for us. It's because seriously, like, okay. Men go and you're like, yeah, I want to see a girl dance for me naked and swing on a pole. Okay, fine. Great. I don't know. The only reason that I would ever go to like a male strip show or anything is because I want to sit in the back and just watch the old ladies screaming, freaking out, throwing dollar bills at these dudes. I do not want your junk in my face, man. That is just, please put it away. Like, no. Like, I am not going there to oogle the men. I want to watch the old ladies freak out, because that I find funny. But, like, the idea of a man in a thong trying to thrust his junk in my... Like, please put it away, sir. God, get out of here. Please, God, don't. Like, that horrifies me. Like, nah. But, like, dudes would be like, yeah, lap dance, tits in my face, woohoo! And, like, I as a woman, I'm like, I don't know. Do most women feel that way? Are we like collectively like, no, I do not. Please do not put your junk in my face, sir. Please put that thing away. Put it away. No, I'm gonna pass on the Thunder Down Under. Thanks. You know what I mean? Like, you might joke about it, like, yeah, let's go to a male strip, please. And we're not actually going. Okay, good. Thank God. Like, I've been to strip clubs, like lady strip clubs. I've been there with male friends. I went there with my ex. Like, that doesn't bother me. Like, okay. Yeah. Actually, you know, because I feel like sometimes girls, oh good, someone that'll talk to me. Yeah, I'm like, those are interesting shoes. Are those hard to walk in? Like, oh yeah, when you're going to school. Like, because you're just chatting with them. And they make more money. Because the men are fucking freaking out throwing dollar bills in front of you because they think it's hot that a girl is dancing for another girl. And you're like, I mean, whatever. I also have a vagina. Thanks. Okay. And I'll be honest. My sister and I went with my sister once. This is fun story time with Spacey that I bet you weren't ever expecting. My sister and I went. Okay, this is the first time I was dating my ex. The first time he ever met my sister. She was seeing this guy she worked with. And we were talking about it. She's like, oh yeah, I used to go to strip club. I'm like, I've never been to one. Me and my sister. while the two guys are sitting there probably like, the fuck is happening? She's like, I've been to a couple. I used to go with guy friends at work because, like, whatever. She worked in a news station, so she worked with a bunch of dudes. And I was like, I've never been. We should go. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, let's go. Me and my sister decided to take the men we were with to a strip club. I don't understand. I think we were drunk, but, like, whatever. So we first, I think, went to one that was where strippers go to die. It was really sad, and I feel bad for, because, like, it was, you were like, oh, sweet. Oh, it's sad. And then, like, the dude was making the poor girl climb across, because, like, the stage was, like, behind the bar, but he's, like, making her crawl across to get the dollar bill in his mouth. And I'm like, this is so degrading and awful. Then we went to the one across the street that cost $20 to get in, which, thank God I had 20 on me, because my ex at the time wasn't my ex, obviously, paid for himself and went in and left me in the lobby. And I was like, I'm glad I have $20 because everybody went in and left me here. You didn't even pay for me to get in. But we went in, and this thing, they had, the reason I'm telling the story is because there was a pole. It was a 2-story pole. The building was 2 stories. The pole was 2 stories. And we were sitting, me and my sister at one point were sitting by the stage while the guys were in the back. Again, this doesn't make any fucking sense because we're not like, woo, titties! You know, we're just like, I don't know. We're having a conversation, whatever. The girl's on stage doing her thing. We look over, and that bitch was on the 2nd fucking story on the top of that pole. I don't know how she got up there. But, like, I'm just saying, strippers who can work a pole are like, their thighs are magic. Like, holy shit, that takes talent. I couldn't jump 2 inches up a pole, and she was 2 stories up. Like, how did you get up there, ma'am? It was like, it's a marvel of modern science. I don't know. You know. And I swear another time at a strip club, the girl was like, I'm like, how the fuck? She's really good on that pole because I guess she used to be a ballerina. And I was like, what the shit? Like, I mean, I know the poles are like sticky. They're coated with something, you know what I mean? Or like whatever. They're not just like a normal fucking like telephone pole, but still to be able to like, that takes talent, okay? I can barely pick up a pencil and these bitches are like holding their whole body up on a pole with their thighs. So just throwing that out there. Takes talent. And then you have to deal with men being pervy and disgusting. So, there's that too. But anyway, I don't know. That just story came out of nowhere. I feel like I need a drink now, but look at the pretty gates. But again, it's just men have like so many places they can go. There's strip clubs in every fucking corner. And what do we have? Nothing. Like literally not. But again, it's because I don't really want your junk in my... That's weird. Put it away. Please don't get me a male stripper. That creeps me out. Like, I don't... It's weird. Just not into it. Anyway. I still do think it's unfair, though. For the ladies, I'll fight for, like, lady sex club districts for women. Not women working there. But not because I want them, but just because I don't think it's fair that men get all these things and women are like, what the fuck? I don't get anything. This is why we play Atome games and we drool over 2D freaking beautiful men, because... we're repressed or something. I don't know. Just kidding. I play these because I'm sad and lonely and I got nothing better to do. Also, they're amazing. This one especially. The rickshaw takes them to the gate and immediately they can hear the bustling noise of the district. Ugh. The two of them get off the rickshaw and walk toward the gate, peeking into the world beyond it. Resting on top of the gate's huge pillars are streetlights, and lining the street are rows of brothels. The crowd on the street is mostly made up of the girls' clients. Rickshaws come and go, and while some people look busy, some are just walking at their own pace with a relaxed look on their faces. I wonder why? Oh, never seen anything like this before. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a curiosity thing, right? If you lived in this and you were like, my brother used to go, wouldn't you be like, I just want to peep in and see what it looks like? Like, I would get in a time machine just for someone to be like, all right, let's go peep in and see what this place looks like. I'm curious too, you know? Although Spacey's read novels written by Ichio Higuchi. Is that Higuchi that's in Bungo Stray Dogs? I'm just saying, I just know Higuchi. I know Bungo Stray Dogs is like authors. Like, all the characters are named after actual authors. So, and Higuchi, so I didn't know. Is that the same person? It's the only time I've heard the name, so I don't know what her first name is, to be fair. Anyway, The district looks incredibly different from the way it's described. It's an entirely different world here. Lively, isn't it? It's even more bustling inside. The district was once full of Haramise brothels? Haramise brothels? Well, anyway. A haramise is a type of brothel where the women would watch the streets through bars. Don't they have kind of brothels like that other red light districts in other countries where it's like you're dancing in the windows or some stuff? Like, or they used to be like that. They used to have brothels like that where like the window is there and you're like kind of sitting in the window, like, hi, market, like you're a fucking window dressing at Macy's or some shit. You know what I mean? And you had the red lights on. Isn't that why it was called the red light district? Like, anyway. And that high-ranking prostitutes didn't show their faces, so the ones who'd sit behind the bars were low-ranking prostitutes. And they would reach out their hands through the bars, desperate to literally catch clients. Yeah, they didn't do that, but they were in a window. It was a haven for men, but there was something that made the scenery look woeful to me. Although Mizuhito might have found the display pitiful, the place must have been some sort of dreamland to him, a place where he could take his mind off the vacant and sad world. Or he just felt sad for about himself and his life, so he'd go there and be like, well, that sad, poor prostitute reaching through bars is sadder than me, so I guess I feel better about myself. I mean, that's horrible, but, you know. The society refers to the women here as prostitutes, but I don't exactly like that label. I mean, if they're getting paid for sex, that's kind of what they are. I guess it really just depends on what they're selling. They look gorgeous, but they're actually living a tough life. Valid. This is a place where men can meet a lot of prostitutes, right? Not quite, no. Of course, there are men who come here to meet multiple women, but basically a client can only choose one woman. And that's the rule of how to play here at Yoshiwara. Actually, that's true. We did learn that in the Men of Yoshiwara. You picked one, and that was it. Didn't, scoot around. But then again, why did he ask about Komomo and somebody else? Interesting. Spacey raises her eyebrows in surprise. So, every time you came to this place, you'd only meet one girl, brother? Yes. Is it so surprising? I mean, actually, okay, here's the thing. There's a civility in that. Like, whoa, you don't just fuck around on my girls. She's getting paid to, service other men, however, with dancing or sleeping with, whatever. Okay, she's selling her wares to other men, but you do not go, no. You come in here and the rules of the game are you pick one and that's it. It's kind of interesting. It's just like interesting rules that they made around prostitution here. Kind of cool if you think about it. I mean, in a very weird, fucked up way, but that's impossible. Her brother's explanation has rendered Spacey speechless. She doesn't know red light districts impose rules that dictate how their clients enjoy themselves. But I mean, you gotta have some rules in place so that people don't get too out of control, so it's interesting. She certainly never considered the possibility that her brother was going back and forth to the district for the sake of one woman. Would you have been happier if I said I was involved with more than one woman? Of course not, but spending many nights with only one woman? That sounds like what lovers do. Also the fact that it's not like, well, it's Tuesday. You went and saw the same woman. That's probably why, because if you think about it, depending on how long you spent there, if you were there every night, when is she seeing other clients? And then you stop going and she's like, you were my only client. So yeah, I can kind of understand where she's like, come back, because it's like you broke up with me. Like having a boyfriend who then stops showing up and you're like, excuse me, what? Her brother had interacted with a large number of female partners. She could have told herself that his relationship with each one of them was purely physical. But when there's only one woman involved, her brother must have had feelings for that woman. She's sure of it. So, a girl called Komomo who, wanted you to see her hairpin. Who is she? One of the geisha working at the brothel run by the proprietress that we met the other day. Don't you mean earlier today? Because isn't that earlier today? Timelines! I was was close with one of the prostitutes there, and I took a liking to Komomo when she came out to perform. Our relationship started from there. Or our relation started from there. And how long did your relationship with her last? About a year, I guess. I knew it, Spacey. It is bothering you, right? Mizuhito laughs weakly. I think he's like thinking, oh, you hate me now. And it's like, no, I'm just, kind of makes me sad. Because, like, I think you had feelings for, you know what I mean? I knew you wouldn't react positively once we actually got to the red light district. Well, this is it. Going to this place was what I used to do. Very often. I guess I do deserve your hatred. I don't hate you, brother. Spacey clings to her brother as she tries to shake off the dark clouds of jealousy that have begun to nest in the depths of her chest. I'm just frustrated. Knowing that visiting this place was the only way for you to heal your suffering. I'm frustrated because I know nothing about you, and thanks to my ignorance, I couldn't be there for you. I couldn't help you, brother. Spacey. Several men who were here for the girls eye the two of them suspiciously as they embrace each other in front of the large gate. If they were hugging at the inner side of the gate, people would probably just brush them off as a pair of client and prostitute who were reluctant to part. But since they're a little ways away in front of the gate, they end up standing out. Yeah, because you're a woman outside of Yoshiwara. It seems weird. Mizuhito doesn't even seem to care as he guides Spacey to rest her head against his chest and begins to stroke her hair. They're like, my god, that dude's wife found out and she chased him down. Thank you. But you don't have to feel bad. It's not that easy. I know I used to come here because I needed somewhere to escape to, but I no longer need this place. You have accepted me for who I am, so I'm alright now. I'll be alright without this place to run away to. Yes, brother. Spacey snuggles against her brother's chest and feels something warm and soft emerging inside her chest, filling it with peace. Her brother's embrace is slowly pacifying the violent feelings that were raging inside her just a few moments ago. Spacey knows it's actually a simple thing. Every ounce of the anger she feels is for her brother, and her attempt to forgive everything is also for her brother. I think, glad I came to see this place. Oh, why is it? Why? I was going to say, why is that? And it's like, why is it? Why is that? Anyway. Because why is it is a weird way of phrasing it. Because coming here has reminded me that you are a kind person, brother. Now I know that although you used to play here at the Red Light District, never once treated or thought of the women who work here as mere objects. To think that only a moment ago she was furious about this very thing. It pains Spacey terribly that her brother once visited this place just to meet a girl. Not a prostitute, not a geisha, just a human girl. But the pity and kindness that he feels for the women here are what makes her brother him. Mizuhito, who once yearned for women from the bottom of his heart, never simply desired a woman's affection. Inside him dwells a heart that's capable of caring deeply for his partners. Well, isn't that sweet? By the time Spacey returns to the manor, the sky's gone completely dark. On their way back to the manor, Mizuhito told her that he had an errand, so he went to God knows where on his own. Although she has a slight suspicion that her brother might be on his way to the proprietress's brothel, she reluctantly agreed to go home first. Well, okay, here's the thing. I would feel in her place like, a little jealous that you're going to this proprietress's brothel. But to be fair, especially if the rules are, you only see one girl. He was going constantly to see Komomo, right? So then she's getting used to that. That's her income. Like, you're seeing her every day. But now, all of a sudden, you stop going. You kind of almost, in a way, you owe it to her to be like, hey, yeah, so I don't intend to come back because I have a lover and I'm going to stay with her and I'm not going to, two-time her or whatever. So that Komomo can be like, oh, that sucks, and, find a new client. You know what I mean? On a business perspective, also human perspective, if she were just seeing anybody that shows up, you go to the red light district and you're like, I got $20, who's here? You know what I mean? Then whatever, you don't owe him anything. But in the way it's structured and organized in the rules, kind of is a nice thing to do, to be like, hey, yeah, I'm in love with someone, and so I'm not going to be coming here anymore, so, Momo should find another client, instead of her wasting her time and, losing money by not seeing you. Although she was shouldering all your debts, so that's gonna be kind of fucked up. So, fun times. But that's on her, man. She shouldn't have trusted you. A man who visits the red light district? I don't know if you should be trusting him, Komomo. Jesus. As soon as Spacey arrives home, Fujita greets her, and she doesn't waste a second before launching into a barrage of questions. You wish to know about Majima? Yes, I'm sure you know many things about him, Fujita. Where did Majima work before he started working here? Despite Spacey's unexpected questions, Fujita keeps on a straight face as he ponders for a while before answering. I'm actually not sure. I think he used to work as a gardener at another manor before he came here, but I do not know anything about his previous jobs. Really? Well, then do you know where he's from? I do not. My apologies, but I know very little about him myself. We do not talk much. And do you know if Majima is friends with any of the servants here? Well, I do see him with Saburo a lot. Saburo? Mere mention of the man's name makes her hair stand on end. Maisie wrinkles her nose and sighs. Maybe she should forget about that piece of information. Fine. Anything else you know about Majima, Fujita? You'll have to be more specific, my lady. Okay, for instance, does he have a lover? Does he have a side job? What is the color of his underwear? I know that's not the right answer, but bravo, game, for just throwing that shit in. I'm sorry. I know that's not the right answer, but I want to fucking save, do that, and then just go back. Can we just, we normally don't go through all the options, but like, hold on. Yes, the right answer is, does he have a side job? Because I felt the lover one wasn't going to be right, but hold on. No, okay, we're not going to be able to come back here because thing is, you ask Majima directly and then that's probably where the ending is. So, okay, I'm sorry. I have to. I fucking have to. There is no way we can't ask fucking Fujita this goddamn question and then come back. We'll come back. What's the color of his underwear? Huh? Fujita tilts his head. Spacey blinks, mouth agape. She can't believe she just blurted out such a weird question. By underwear, are you referring to his loincloth underwear? Well, I would say likely white. Loincloths are normally white. Wait, yes, I think so too. Is that question supposed to be related to something significant or a secret? No, it isn't. I was just... Sorry. I can assure you it isn't related to anything important. So, did you just ask it out of curiosity? Huh? Well, I guess? Oh no. Please forgive me, madam. Fujita cries and falls prostrate to the floor. Startled, Spacey rushes to Fujita's side. What's wrong? Fujita! Where did I go wrong? I must have made a grave error in your education, my lady. Oh, the pain. The shame! Forgive me! This was the best fucking reason to just ask about underwear, because Fujita is now having a fucking moment. Fujita, calm down! Hey, listen, that was just a joke. A joke? Absolutely! It's, a joke that everyone's been telling lately. It's seriously popular right now. Trust me. Is it? Really? Of course. Vegeta, you're too serious for your own good. Keep up with the latest jokes, will ya? And then you'll be like me. Hilarious. Oh, okay. Although Fujita's still eyeing her dubiously, he does clear his throat and move to stand up from the floor. I'm glad we did this just for shits and giggles, because this was fucking great. This is amazing. Very well. Let's put the joke behind us. And do you have any other questions for me? Oh my god, we can actually still just ask the right one! Why in the world did Otome Kitten not put this in the guide like, feel free to ask what the color of his underwear is for no reason? I don't think we fucked this up. I think that was seriously just a little side rant for funsies. Game, we need more of these. That was amazing. Fujita just fucking literally lost his shit. So does he have a side job? That's the right thing. Does he have any side jobs? A side job? Fujita blinks, clearly not expecting Spacey to ask him that question. Well, it is true that Majima takes a few days off once every few months. I've never heard of him having any kind of side job. He seems to go somewhere during his days off, but I was under the impression that he was going back to his hometown. Okay. That means she can't rule out the possibility that Majima does have a side job. A sharp pain blooms inside Spacey's chest. Majima has stayed by her side for a long time, and she never wanted to doubt him. However, Mizuhito seems to trust the proprietress and her story. The proprietress sure doesn't seem like the type to make bad jokes just for the fun of it. You mean like us? Asking about underwear and then pawning it off as a joke? Losing track of what's true, Spacey begins to feel worried. My lady, has Majima done anything wrong? Spacey's silence and pensiveness prompt Fujita to hesitantly ask. The question yanks Spacey out of her pondering, and she quickly shakes her head. No, he hasn't done anything wrong, but please don't tell Majima I asked you questions about him. Certainly, I will keep that in mind. Thank you, Fujita, and sorry for making you answer strange questions. By the way, is Majima around today? I like how I guarantee you, even if you don't ask about the underwear, the making you answer strange questions is just in general, but also about the underwear. I am so fucking glad we just decided to try that for funsies. That was worth it. Yes, he tended to the garden this morning, but I think he went out in the afternoon. He told me he'd be back at night. Oh, okay, thank you. After dismissing Fujita, Spacey continues to ruminate over her findings. No, she needs more information. At that time, an idea pops into Spacey's head. Do not go out into his room! Maybe I should sneak into Majima's room. Don't do it! Come on! Oh, I'm like a person screaming in a movie theater. Don't go fucking upstairs! How are you gonna get out? When they're fucking in a horror movie. Ugh. I'm sure I'll find something there. Majima isn't in the manor right now, so this is her chance. But since he'll be back at night, her time's limited. She needs to make a move now before Majima returns. Her desire to confirm the truth wins over her fear. Okay, so I have a feeling... Okay, well, we're definitely going to go do that. And then that's probably going to be where Majima comes back, threatens us, and then her brother comes in and saves us, and we have her happily ever after. Which is going to be like 2 fucking parts, because we know that end after credit scene is only like an hour, so... We should get going now. We have a little more time. We'll go a little bit longer. I don't think we're going to finish in this time, but we'll get a little bit further, and like either the next part of the part after will probably be the end then. Spacey unconsciously begins to walk quietly, making her way to Majima's room. Yeah, because yeah. So, that was the last choice we had, so. Although she knows that the owner of the room is currently not inside the manor, it does nothing to wipe the guilt she's feeling for entering another person's room without permission. Majima's room is still as tidy as she remembers. She's going to find the Chinese bellflower in the kimono pocket, like we did that one time. A man's room is usually messy and smells, but Majima's room is nothing of the sort. Spacey shifts her focus to the dark inside. Spacey shifts her focus to the desk inside Majima's room. Wow. She opens the drawer and peeks inside, trying to find anything suspicious. However, the drawer lacks anything like that. I guess that's to be expected. He's doing something dangerous behind our backs. He wouldn't leave any item that could prove his guilt lying around in his room. Or our brother went off, probably maybe to talk to the proprietress and tell her he's not coming back, whatever, and he's going to see Majima coming back from the red light district, and that's why. Her search inside his room is turning anticlimactic, and Spacey sighs. Maybe she'll never come across anything odd inside the room. Now the only option Spacey has is to make sure she's not left any trace and get out of this room. The proprietress could have spotted the wrong man, or someone who looks awfully similar to Majima. Now she's getting ashamed of herself for suspecting Majima and going as far as to ask Fujita questions about him, including about what kind of underwear he wears. What am I doing? Barging into his room like a burglar. Everything inside the room is kept tidy and in order. Like the room itself is trying to show her that Majima's innocent. Knowing that she shouldn't be here any longer, she turns around to leave. Then the hem of her clothes gets caught on the back of the chair. Oh. In that instant, the kimono that's been put over the back of the chair falls to the floor. Here we go. Flustered, Spacey hastily bends down to pick up the kimono in order to put it back over the back of the chair. Then something falls off from the sleeve. Fallen objects looks like some kind of leaf. She takes it in her hand to closely inspect it. What? But this is... That loud my controller vibrated. Shit. At that moment, the sound of explosions fills her ear and they ring from the loudness. Did the fucking manor explode? Taken aback, Spacey grows stiff and her grip around the object tightens. What on earth was that? A flurry of fearful images enters her head. An unknown force propels Spacey to turn around and dash out of the room. Oh my god! He blew up the house! I thought he was gonna come in and stab us or do whatever like the other one, but no, he's like, ha ha ha, I'm leaving. Because he said bombs up in the house, but luckily we're not there and Mizuhito's not there. Oh no, Fujita's dead! Well, now we don't have to worry about, like, telling him he's gonna have to find another job. Because we're gonna go run off together. But it shouldn't have been this way! Oh dear! Like, oh no. No way. But we're gonna leave it here! Sorry. But we're about time, and there's no point in continuing because this is gonna be the wrap-up and the climactic finale, Jesus! Which we might not finish fully in the next part because we'll have to do, like, the little after credit scene, which I know is usually long, which is nice, but, we'll see, so. Anyway, we'll have fun with the drama in the next parts. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.